that indigenous innovations, startups and commercial opportunities are expanding the scope of the sector. To talk about the dynamics of India's space adventure, I have with me the new head of India's premier space agency, ISRO. Let me welcome Dr. V. Narayanan, Chairman, ISRO and Secretary, Department of Space. Sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Sir, first, congratulations on the opportunity to lead ISRO. Also, the recent success with the SpaceX mission puts India to this august company of just 4 nations who have the capability to dock in the space. Shall we begin our conversation with this mission, what it means for India?
You all know we have successfully docked 2 spacecrafts, each 220 kg, rotating in the low Earth orbit, with a velocity of something around 28,400 km per hour. 2 spacecrafts were rotating, and on 16th of January, it was a historical day, we have successfully docked, and India becoming the one among 4 countries which have got that capability. And every Indians can be proud of this great achievement. Now, the need of this experiment is very, very important to understand. Now, you know, we are going to have our Chandrayaan 4 mission, and Chandrayaan 4 mission compared to Chandrayaan 3. Chandrayaan 3, we soft landed near the South Pole. That the total mass of the spacecraft was something around 4,000 kg. Chandrayaan 4 is 9,200 kg. We are going to have totally 5 modules, and with the current capability of the rockets, we cannot take as a single module. And we are proposing to take us through 2 rockets, 5 modules, in one rocket 2 modules, another rocket 3 modules, and we are going to take it together. Then we are going to dock and do the experiment, and Chandrayaan 4 is meant for soft landing, taking sample from moon and bring them back safely. Essentially, when the huge modules have to be carried, we cannot build huge rockets, so we take multiple modules and dock and do that experiment. So this is one of the immediate purpose it will serve. Another thing is, as you all know, Honorable Prime Minister has given the approval to build the space station. Our own base space station we are going to build. And the first module we are going to place in the orbit by 2028. That is the target what we are talking about. And the entire space station will be built by 2035. And when you take individual modules, again, we have to assemble, rather dock in the space. And for that, this is a forerunner. And future human spaceflight program, right, when you are talking about taking man to moon and all those things, also we have to take multiple modules and do this type of docking. So thereby, this is a very crucial experiment what we have done. And I think you all can understand, assume when 2 cars are moving on road with high velocity and docking precisely with micron level accuracy is so difficult.
No, it is fascinating to imagine.
Now you can imagine 2 satellites, of course, relative velocity is very less, but 2 satellites having rotating the velocity of so high velocity. In that condition, in all the 3 axes, you have to bring and micron level this one and you have to dock. It's a highly challenging and very, very important accomplishment India has made.
It's fascinating to learn about it, sir. Dr. Narayanan, tell us also something about your personal journey. You come from a farmer's family, I understand, a village in Kanyakumari. From there to becoming the top rocket scientist and now heading ISRO. What has been the journey like for you?
I am from a very humble family background. Studied from a very village in Kanyakumari district, studied in a government school, in fact in the Tamil medium in government school. And from there started my career, and then completed my, I completed my diploma, then joined for job. Initially, I joined in a private sector, TI Cycles, Chennai. And then Madras Rubber Factory. Then from there moved to Madras Rubber BHL, Trichy and Ranipet for almost 7 months. Then joined ISRO. After joining ISRO, completed MTech and PhD from IIT Kharagpur. and had the great opportunity to qualify myself and move forward in the ladder and contribute for multiple programs of ISRO. including the prestigious Cryogenic program, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3, and lot of activities, and had the great opportunity. I have to really thank Honorable Prime Minister to handpick and give this great responsibility to lead this organization.
And so now that you have this important responsibility, how do you articulate India's position in among the spacefaring nations, and what is your vision for ISRO?
If you look at our space program, we also started in a very, very modest way. In 1962, we started, and we had our first indigenous tiny rocket launch in the year 1967, November 20. That time, truly, we were almost 50 to 60 years behind the advanced spacefaring nations. But today, when you look at, we have developed 6 generations of launches, multiple satellites of different capabilities, almost 128 satellites. And we had the first satellite, our own satellite, Aryabhatta, was built in the year 1975 with the support of other countries. From that, if you look at today, when Prime Minister Modi ji took over as the Honorable Prime Minister of this country in 2014, we were given a direction. We conceived a satellite, built and launched a SAR satellite and donated to South Asian countries. And then in the area of application, the vision of Indian space program as given by Sarabhai and subsequent leaders is to serve the common man of this country. In fact, lot of applications in television broadcasting, telecommunication, disaster warning and mitigation, and resource management. So much applications have come. And in fact, we used to tell in a lighter vein, to understand the space application of the space technology, evening between 5 to 8, if you one day switch off all the satellites, a lot of things will come to standstill. No ATM connection, lot of things will come, so one will understand. Now, coming to today, if you see, couple of places we have got leadership roles, leadership position. For example, take the Chandrayaan 1 mission. We successfully, India is the first country which discovered water molecules on the moon. And every Indians were so proud of that accomplishment. Take the Mars orbiter mission. And we had to travel, to go to Red Planet, almost 68 crore kilometers we had to travel. Imagine small deviations happening, we will not go to Red Planet, we will go some other place. And India is the only country and first country successfully accomplished the Mars orbiter mission in the first attempt. Of course, other countries have done.
There's an important point that you mentioned, sir, about the manner in which India is also using its space expertise to help other nations, playing an important role in the global south. If you can shed some light on that, how are we harnessing our potential to help our friends?
No, today, the India is globally accepted as a outstanding spacefaring nation. And when you look at the space-related activities, and it is not only for some of the activities, it will help not only India, it is a common thing for all the people. For example, take disaster warning and management, take that climate change monitoring and associated things. So thereby, today, India, we are having collaboration with 60 countries. Out of that, 40 countries were from global south. So we thought that we have to collaborate together, give a leadership role, and contribute not only for Indians, for the global society, and particularly the global south. So this is what we thought, we'll jointly put a system and work together.
Right. So, reading about your work and achievements, I also learned about the cryogenic propulsion technology. I understand it was an advanced technology that was once denied to India, and India decided to, and you led that program in many ways, decided to indigenously develop that technology. How significantly is that tech driving the future of India's space missions today?
When you take cryogenic propulsion, where we use liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen as the propellant combination, extreme low temperature. Liquid hydrogen is at minus 253 degrees centigrade, liquid oxygen at minus 183 degrees centigrade. This propellant combination gives the best propulsion efficiency in the class of chemical propulsion. And here the technology was denied, you are all aware. And then we have, till today, we have developed 3 cryogenic stages. Okay. One is a version. Initially, we procured some of the stages from Russia, and they were also trying to help us. But then due to geopolitical reason, the technology transfer could not go well. So that version we have developed for our Mark II vehicle. So I joined as a junior engineer, but when it was successful in the year 2014, already I was in the senior position. Then coming to the Mark III vehicle, we have developed a high performance, high capability cryogenic propulsion system, which is 3 times higher capable than Mark II vehicle, for which it is not only me, there were so many leaders, but towards the last 6 to 7 years, I was the project director. In fact, I want to tell in that the technology which was denied, it is not only that we have realized and today we have developed. In the Mark III development, the cryogenic development, we also have got world records. For example, I can tell 2 world records. One is from the engine level test. We do a lot of experiments coming to the engine level test. Engine level test to flight. The minimum time taken so far in the world is by Indians. We have completed in 28 months. All other countries have taken more time. This is one world record. Second world record is, we call it as a stage level test. Actually, after engine level test, the stage means entire system will be built. Tank, structures, everything will be, engine will be built and assembled in a test stand of 1,000 crore worth test stand, and we have to do the test. You please understand, 5,000 kg of hydrogen and some 5,000 and 28,000 kg of oxygen together. If you handle properly, it will work as a fuel. If you don't handle, it will work as a hydrogen bomb. So we have carried out the stage level test 34 days, the shortest time. And generally people take 5 to 8 months. So again, we have put a world record. It is not just like that done. It is in a very innovative way it was done. And third cryo stage, what we have built is an improved version of the Mark III cryo stage, human rated C-32 stage for GAGAN program.
That's brilliant, sir. And you mentioned GAGAN. It's a much anticipated mission. Everyone's looking at it. You've been closely associated with the progress in the mission. Where is it headed now in terms of what is the progress? How are our astronauts preparing for the big launch?
If you take GAGAN program, it is meant for taking our own astronaut to the space and bring them back safely.
India's first human space mission.
Space program. Now, there are a lot of developments involved. One is the rocket, which is going to take, that has to be human rated. It's a LVM-3 vehicle, and human rating means in terms of improving the reliability, in terms of increasing the redundancies and do the health monitoring. So that work, that is, I can say the entire activities are almost completed. Second development is the orbital module, which consists of a crew module and service module. This is the module in which the astronauts has to stay inside. That's a total new development. Third thing is, to keep them in the space inside safely, you need to have a system called environmental control and safety system. Basically, I think in a layman language, if I put, inside we have to maintain the required pressure level, required oxygen content, required relative humidity, temperature control, CO2 within the limit. So all these things has to be done. So that development, which has got almost some 800 control components, fluid control components are required. That development is going on. Right. Next important thing is, when the human beings are there in the rocket, when it is taking them, any problem happens, we have to safely bring the crew. For that, we have to develop a crew escape system. Basically a fast burning solid motor based system. That development almost completed, and we have to do a lot of things.
And what kind of timelines are we looking at? What is happening this year and what is planned ahead?
Now, to do entire thing safely, we are planning 3 uncrewed missions. Consecutively it has to go and we have to succeed. And then lot of experiments we have to do, for example, including parachute experiments, then crew escape system, demonstration experiment, all these things has to be done. Finally, we will go for the actual mission. Now, this year, important milestone, what we are targeted is, apart from other experiments and development works, first uncrewed mission. For that, right now, the rocket building is happening in Sriharikota. and then all other modules developments are taking place. We are expecting maybe in couple of months. Exact date I will come back later, and that mission will happen. Once that happens, then 2 more uncrewed missions followed by the actual mission. So what we'll do is we'll complete this mission, then take a review and put the clear timeline. Otherwise, the targeted date is by 2026, 27 beginning. We are targeting the actual mission, but lot of development works are in the hand, which has to be successfully accomplished before that.
Right. So let's talk about another ambitious vision that ISRO has, India's space program has. Bharatiya Antariksh Station, India's own indigenous space station by the year 2035. Now, if you could shed some light on the significance of having a space station of one's own, why is it important, and what will it take to make one in the space?
No, basically, when you build this type of thing, number one, it is used for multiple purpose. Say, we can do lot of experimentals, biological experiments, metallurgical experiments, lot of scientific experiments under zero-G gravity we can carry out. Second thing is, when you are talking about future human space flight program, directly we cannot take. So we can go there, for example, like ISS, we can go take our human being, and from there for interplanetary mission, we can take them. So all those things also, this will be helping. And basically, as you know, strength only respects strength. So once we have got this type of things, slowly we will be helping other countries also to have, their own experiments to be carried out.
Right, and there's a third launch pad that is coming up as well in terms of the work that ISRO is doing and planning ahead. How significant is to have another launch pad in the country?
Now let me little go back to the rocket development. It was in the year 1980 we had the successful first SLV-3 launch which took place. That in the project director was none other than the People President Abdul Kalam. That rocket was 17-ton lift-off mass, 17-ton lift-off mass, having a capability of placing 35 to 40 kg satellite in the low Earth orbit. And from there, today we have built so many rockets, and the heaviest is Mark 3 rocket. The capability is 8,000 kg to low Earth orbit. Now, government has given an approval for us to develop the next generation launcher called NGLV. The capability of that vehicle is 1,000 times of SLV-3. That means 30,000 kg we can take it to low Earth orbit. Now, right now we are having 2 launch pads in Sriharikota and meant for launching PSLV, GSLV Mark 2, Mark 3. So for launching this new vehicle, this launch pad is essential. Not only that, today the LVM-3 vehicle is commercially, a lot of demands are there. And to improve the frequency of launch also, this launch pad will be useful. Again, Honorable Prime Minister has already rolled out the idea of taking our own human being to moon, our own brother to moon and bring them back safely. And for that type of program also, with little augmentation, this launch pad will be helping in a big way. I have to thank Honorable Prime Minister and Government of India for approving this. That too, immediately after I took over. I took over on 14th, and 16th was the cabinet meeting in which this approval was given. Let me express my gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister for that.
Wonderful. You mentioned about Prime Minister Modi and his interventions. How do you reflect on the manner in which his interest and confidence in India's space potential and space sector has been in focus? What are your thoughts on that?
No, he is really a visionary leader. And even though he concentrated on the entire country, space, his knowledge and his understanding is so excellent. And he has, in fact, he has rolled out the vision of the space program for next 25 years. And he strongly believes we have to build a space ecosystem, not only ISRO, the total countries. That's why he rolled out the space sector reform. Really, that is today yielding lot of results. Thereby, in fact, Honorable Prime Minister, I have to really salute him and really respect him. And we are there to execute his vision. And he has given lot of new project approved. Next generation launcher, Chandrayaan 4 for landing and taking sample. And there is a Venus orbiter mission he has approved, and a Lupox mission. in which the India and JAXA will work together. And the Chandrayaan 3, we had a rover 25 kg, and here we are going to build something around 250 kg rover. And that type of new programs, and GAGAN itself approval was given by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, and under his vision, under his guidance, under his leadership, in fact, the space activity has grown in multiple directions and going to grow in much higher fold. In fact, the space sector reform, what he has rolled out, through that, a lot of startup companies and private players, they have come into this one, and we are hand holding them. And you would have heard a couple of launches taking place, and lot of activities are taking place. In fact, utilizing the satellite data for common man, lot of private companies are doing. Let me thank Honorable Prime Minister for his visionary leadership and guidance what he is providing to us.
Right. You mentioned startups. We're seeing an era where we have made in India rockets, satellites, 3D printed engines by India's startups, some 200 of them operating actively in the country. How are they transforming the space sector as we speak? The young entrepreneurs in the sector.
They are highly enthusiastic, young, dynamic teams. Today, almost we are having 250 plus startup companies. And in fact, there were leading industries which are supporting. And today, if you take, let it be in the application area, satellite building area, or launch vehicle development, I am extremely happy as the chairman of ISRO and Secretary of Department of Space throughout the country. It has brought a dynamism, and in fact the space assets requirement for the country is huge. Today we are having only 56 satellites in the orbit serving the country for a different sector. When I foresee at least another 3-4 years, we have to build something around 3 times of this. So only ISRO alone cannot do. So only the startup system, only startup companies plus private players. We are hand-holding them. In fact, you may be knowing that our operational vehicle, PSLV, already we are given to private companies, HAL and public and private enterprises. They are going to bring out the first rocket for launch. Right. And then SSLV, already we are going to transfer the technology. LVM-3 vehicle, and we are in the process of hand-holding the private company to produce. So thereby, when you talk about the space ecosystem growth, the space sector reform, what is put in place is an outstanding idea, and it is really yielding great result to the...
And very briefly, there's also a commercial aspect to the space sector, some around $500 billion worth space sector. India occupies about 2%. What path are we treading on that?
No, in fact, when we started our program, our interest was only bring advanced technology for common man, for serving the common man of the country. There were no commercial interest. But today, we are serving the country in a big way. But today, the situation has changed. We are one of the leading spacefaring nation. And today, our share is only hardly 2%. Out of the total global space economy, our share is only 2%. Now we have put a target of change increasing to 8% in maybe by 2030. And towards that, we are working towards that. For example, take LVM-3 vehicle. Today, one of the vehicle really having lot of commercial potential. Then our satellite data, which can be used by not only by us, by other countries. So thereby, we have clearly put a roadmap through in-space system to have a commercial share of at least 8%. That is our target. We are working towards that, but it is a very difficult and ambitious target. I am sure we will be in a position to achieve those type of targets.
Right. And so finally, I understand that ISRO is set for its 100th mission and launch. What can you tell us about it, and how does it pave the road ahead?
In fact, it is to think itself, it is a very so exciting to think. 1979, we had the first SLV rocket launch. Of course, we had a small setback in that, and then 1980, we had the first successful SLV-3. From that, we have come a long way. From Sriharikota, from 3 launch sites, this is the 100th launch. That is the LVM-3 vehicle. It is the Mark II vehicle. Called F-15 vehicle. Through that vehicle, we are going to place the second generation navigation satellite, NVS-02, which is having our indigenous atomic clock, and which is going to be used for a lot of purpose, navigation purpose. That is the launch what we are targeted on 29th of this month. So it is going to be a major milestone. A country which started with a very humble beginning, almost 62 years back, and moving rockets in bicycles that time, and the satellite for experiment through bullock carts. From that era, please imagine, we have come a long way serving the country, and we are going to have the 100th launch. It is thinking itself, it is quite exciting, and it is going to be accomplished before this month end. Exact date I will come back, mostly the 29th may be the possible date, but before this month end we are going to have. It's a great milestone for the entire country. So every citizen can be proud of that milestone also.
On that note, thank you, Dr. Narayanan, for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you all viewers. Thank you.
जब धरती चीर कर निकलता है लोहे का पत्थर और मिलता है मोंगिया के जोश से, फिर तपता है, पिघलता है और बनता है फौलाद। अब होता है सरिया सारी खूबियों के साथ। मोंगिया स्टील, मजबूत देश का मजबूत सरिया।